What began as a picturesque restoration dream in the French countryside is slowly revealing a far more complicated reality. Billy and GwendalynPetherick, renowned for their ambitious historic renovations, are finding that their latest project, a 250-year-old abandoned convent, is testing the very limits of their resilience and budget. For years, the couple has captivated audiences with the Petherick's journey, turning decay into digital gold through their highly successful storytelling platform. Their boldest acquisition yet, a historic property purchased for approximately €425,000, was viewed not as a reckless gamble, but as the inevitable next chapter for the seasoned renovators. Fans, emotionally invested in their previous successes, expected another poetic transformation of dust into beauty. However, beneath the romanticized appeal of ancient wood and enduring stone lies a daunting structural reality. Early signs of the property's deterioration have quickly escalated into a massive undertaking as the couple battles decades of severe neglect. They are currently facing sagging structural beams, unstable flooring, and failing roofs, all while attempting to navigate a maze of strict red tape dictated by France's famously complex historical preservation laws. These physical and bureaucratic hurdles have inevitably led to skyrocketing expenses, with unexpected costs and mandatory structural assessments appearing without warning to plague the centuries-old ruin. Because of these mounting challenges, progress has significantly stalled despite the couple's steady platform income and proven track record. The slowdown is not due to a lack of effort, but rather the stark truth that historical restorations rarely adhere to planned schedules, stretching timelines far beyond what initial optimism could control. The French convent was meant to be the prick's crowning achievement, a testament to bringing history back to life. Instead, it has become a cautionary tale about the hidden costs of romanticizing ruins. As the project inches forward, viewers are no longer just watching a restoration. They are witnessing a gritty, real-world battle against time, bureaucracy, and gravity. The stagnation loop as months turned into years, the project's momentum noticeably shifted, turning what was once a clear plan into a complex maze. The steady stream of triumphant updates gave way to infrequent, measured dispatches. While there were still glimpses of progress, cleared rooms, repaired walls, and stabilized sections, the overall picture remained stubbornly incomplete. The couple found themselves in the precarious middle ground of a massive renovation, where money flows out relentlessly while the finish line remains agonizingly distant. For a venture largely funded through audience engagement, this stagnation created a dangerous financial loop. As the captivating storytelling slowed, so did the online revenue, which in turn stalled the project even further. The human toll and burnout beyond the mounting financial strain, a palpable human toll began to surface. A quiet exhaustion crept into the pacing and tone of their videos, noticeable in the spaces between their words. Billy himself hinted at moments of profound doubt, reflecting on the purchase with a newfound self-awareness and describing the initial decision as perhaps a little bit silly. The remark revealed the heavy burden of living inside a once-idealized dream. The convent, initially the energizing centerpiece of their lives, slowly morphed from a passion project into an overwhelming obligation. Burnout became evident in their hesitations, project delays, and a quiet shift in their daily priorities, as the property lost its place as their singular focus. A stunning legal twist then came, an unpredictable turning point that abruptly altered the project's trajectory. In 24, the narrative shifted entirely from construction woes to legal turmoil when controversy emerged surrounding Billy and Gwendolyn. The couple became entangled in allegations tied to past incidents involving church theft cases, a stunning and ironic development for a brand built entirely on rescuing and preserving historical structures. The fallout from these legal issues quickly extended far beyond the courtroom, threatening not just the future of the French convent, but the very foundation of the public trust they had cultivated for years. The cost of broken trust. In a YouTube-driven model where reputation is the primary currency, the legal fallout delivered a devastating blow. The trust that Billy and Gwendolyn had carefully cultivated over years faced intense public scrutiny. In an ecosystem where audience connection directly fuels financial sustainability, a disruption of this magnitude is catastrophic. The entire convent project relied heavily on the collective belief of the viewers, the supporters, and the creators themselves. When that belief began to waver, the very foundation of the restoration seemed to fracture, a telling pivot and unspoken shifts. By 2025 and into 2026, the consequences of this fractured trust became undeniable. The historic convent remained standing but unfinished, its future entirely uncertain as project updates grew increasingly sporadic. The creators' attention began to noticeably drift toward new narratives, most notably a completely different venture, a yacht renovation. This unexpected project signaled far more than a simple change of scenery. It functioned as a quiet acknowledgement that their story was evolving in ways no one had originally planned. Viewers also began to instinctively pick up on more subtle signs of shifting tides. Unspoken changes in relationships, shifting family dynamics, and a lingering sense that personal paths were diverging rather than converging added a profound emotional weight to a journey the audience had intimately followed for years. The lingering question, a monumental mistake. As the narrative shifted, so did the audience's reaction, transforming from unwavering support into a complex mix of concern, curiosity, and quiet disappointment. Online discussions are now dominated by lingering questions about whether the convent will ever see completion, or if a concerning pattern of bold beginnings and unfulfilled closures is beginning to emerge. Despite this growing disillusionment, there remains a thread of appreciation for what the couple originally achieved, a compelling narrative that made millions care about historic craftsmanship and architectural preservation. Still, it is impossible to ignore the core tension now defining their story. With its immense scale, unpredictable costs, and wildly extended timeline, the compelling argument remains. Was the French convent ultimately a monumental mistake? The calculus of risk versus reward. As financial pressures mounted and external legal controversies further complicated their lives, the convent project began to look increasingly perilous. From a purely strategic standpoint, the endeavor resembled a high-risk investment lacking a clearly defined exit strategy, a massive gamble that had definitively tipped from ambitious to unsustainable. Yet dismissing the project as a total failure oversimplifies its broader impact. The audacious undertaking brought unprecedented visibility, exponential channel growth, and a level of deep audience engagement that few digital creators ever achieve. It fostered genuine global connection and transformed a forgotten piece of French heritage into a cultural touchstone that millions of people actively cared about, proving the property still holds immense cultural, if not immediately financial, value. An unfinished legacy in 2026. Today, in 2026, the story remains unfinished, offering a raw honesty that polished internet narratives often lack. The project's current state reflects a universal truth that extends far beyond a single YouTube channel or a crumbling building in France. It mirrors the human experience of taking on endeavors that grow larger and more complex than anticipated, ultimately forcing a decision between stubbornly pushing forward or allowing a dream to evolve into something entirely different. The convent currently stands not as a completed triumph, but as a monumental question mark. It serves as a striking physical symbol of what happens when boundless creativity and immense risk collide with uncompromising reality. The journey over the destination. While Billy and Gwendolyn continue to reshape their narrative in real time, pivoting toward new directions and exploring different waters, their audience remains watching. The enduring appeal of their platform suggests that perhaps the allure was never truly about witnessing a flawless architectural ending. Instead, the core of their success has always been the journey itself. The unfinished convent stands as a testament to the willingness to attempt something extraordinarily bold, serving as a reminder that the courage to begin often resonates with people far more than the certainty of the outcome.